Today we will be looking at the different levels of management. If you look at the different levels of management, we have the top level, the middle level and the lower level. In every organization, there is a chain of command or management hierarchy from the top to the bottom. That means it consists of several layers of authority. These different layers of authority are known as the levels of management. The line of demarcation between the various managerial positions in a business organization based on the authority that they are having are termed as the levels of management. Now, with the increase in the size of the organization, the levels in the management also increase and vice versa. So, they are generally of three levels: top level, middle level and the lower level. But if we talk about the top level management of a company consists of the board of directors, the chief executive, the general manager, secretary, etc. And we may also have a president or vice president. The role of top management is setting the goals for the entire organization and formulating policies and plans to achieve the goals. The top level management is accountable to the shareholders of the organization, because the shareholders are the real owners of the organization. So the top level management is answerable to them. The top level management generally concentrates or focuses mainly on planning and the coordinating functions of the entire organization. So, if we look at the functions of top level management, first of all, it prepares strategies and it prepares and sets the goals and objectives of the organization. And according to these goals and objectives of the organization, the entire organization works. Second is, it lays down broad policies which are to be followed to achieve the desired goals. So the broad policies are made by the top management, and based on the broad policies made, work goes on in every organization. To establish long-term corporate plans of the company. Now, the work of top level management is also to establish long-term plans. The long-term plans may be goals, policies and strategies. Next is to formulate and approve the master budget and the departmental budgets. The master budget is the budget which combines the budget of all the departments of an organization, and they also prepare the departmental budgets. For every department, a budget is made, that what may be the probable expenses and what may be the probable incomes. To design a broad organization structure, this is a very important activity of top management, that they try to evolve a sound organization structure, because without a sound organization structure, work cannot go smoothly in any organization. The work of top management is also to appoint the departmental heads and key executives. So they try to appoint key personnel at the key places, at the important places, so that work can be done properly. The work of all top management is also to provide guidance to the subordinates. They guide the subordinates so that the subordinates can work in a coordinated manner, in the correct manner. The top management also appoints the middle level management executives. Below the top level, we have the middle level management executives, and who appoints them? The top level management. The top level management also controls and coordinates all the functions of the organization. That means they try to see that the work in the organization go on in a coordinated manner, in a synchronized manner, so that there is no chaos, there is no anarchy, and the organization is able to achieve the group goals. The top level management also provides the overall direction and leadership of the company. They are the ones who direct and they are the ones who lead. They also decide the distribution of profits. Out of the profits which have been made by the organization, how much profits will be distributed as dividend among the shareholders, how much should be retained. All this is decided by the top management. Now we come to the middle level management. Middle level management is also referred to as the executory level. They are subordinates of the top level management and are responsible for the organization and direction of the lower level management. It comprises the departmental and sectional heads, example the production manager, finance manager, personnel manager, branch manager, etc. They are the communicators between the top level management and the lower level management. So, whatever is said by the top level management, that they communicate to the lower level management. And whatever is trying to be communicated by the lower level management, they tell the top level management. So, they transfer information, they transfer reports and other data of the organization either to the lower level management or to the top level management. Now, if you look at the functions of middle level management, they first function, if you see, to interpret and explain the plans and policies formulated by top management. Now, the work of top management is to make the plans and policies, but their interpretation is done by the middle level management and their explanation also. Second is to monitor and control the operating performance. They monitor and they check whether the operations are going on smoothly or not, whether the work is going on smoothly or not, whether the work is going on as per the plans and strategies of the company or organization or not. The work of middle level management is also to cooperate among themselves so as to integrate the various activities of a department. That means the middle level management sees to it that all the different departments, they work in a coordinated manner. Without work being done in a coordinated manner, the goal of the organization cannot be achieved. Then the next is to train, motivate and develop the supervisory personnel. They are the ones who train, who motivate and even develop also the supervisory personnel. The supervisory personnel are the people who are working in the lower level management. They evaluate the performance of the junior staff and based on the evaluation, they give suggestions. They send performance reports and other data to the top management. So whatever performance is done by the lower level management, that's a report of that they make and they send that performance report to the top level management so that the top level management can modify their policies and programs accordingly. Now we come to the lower level management. The lower level management is also referred to as the supervisory or the operative level of managers. They are the first line of managers and they spend most of the time addressing the functions of the business organization as instructed by the managers above them. And generally they consist of foreman, line boss, shift boss, section chief. Okay, so what are the functions of the lower level management or the operating level management? First is to allocate tasks and responsibilities to the operative employees. The employees who are working, they allocate the work and the responsibilities to them. Then to plan day-to-day production within the goals laid down by higher authorities. So they are the ones who plan how they are going to do and what they are going to do on a day-to-day basis. Next is they assign jobs to workers and make arrangements for their training and development. They are the ones who assign work to the workers, that you have to do this, you have to do that, and accordingly they make arrangements for their training and development if required. They issue orders and instructions so that work goes on in a coordinated manner. They supervise and control the workers' operations and try to maintain personal contacts with them. So they are the ones who are in direct contact with the workers, and so therefore they try to maintain personal contacts and look into their grievances, look into their problems and address them. They also arrange materials and tools to maintain the machinery. They advise and assist the workers by explaining the work procedures, how to do the work, and solving their problems also. If there are any problems, they try to solve it. They try to maintain discipline and good human relations among the workers, which is very important. In any organization, if there is very good human relations among the workers, then it leads to work being done in a more coordinated manner, in a manner which will fulfill the goals of the organization. And they try to motivate the employees also to achieve the targets. So these are your work done by the lower level management. Now let us come to the scope or the branches of management. If you look at the scope or the branches of management, first we have the personnel or the human resource management. As we have seen earlier, human resource is one of the most important resources of any organization. If you have a very sound human resource in any organization, work will go on very smoothly. So this personnel management generally involves planning, organizing and controlling and procurement also of human resources in any organization. So the main purpose of human resource management is to see that you put the correct people at the correct place. And therefore it consists of the following activities. What are the activities which are generally there in personnel management? We have recruitment, placement, induction, orientation of employees, training of employees. You have to train them to do the work. Then promotion. Sometimes a worker is doing very good work, so he has to be promoted to the higher level. Performance appraisal. What do you mean by performance appraisal? It means that you see how they are doing the work, whether they are able to do the work properly or not, and accordingly you make a performance appraisal of their work. Retirement, where employees will retire, like for example in a government organization, employees generally retire at the age of 60. Then welfare schemes, you have to make welfare schemes for the employees. Then compensation, how much are you going to compensate the employees for the work that they are doing? What will be their salary? What are the other incentives that should be given to them? All this work is being done by the personnel management. Plus, they also maintain records of the different employees who are working and different people who are working in an organization. Now we come to the next branch of management, that is production management. In production management mainly, we are concerned with management of production. So production management implies planning, organizing, directing and controlling mainly the production function, so as to produce the right products in the right quantity and at the right time and at the right cost also. It includes the following activities. They are, first of all, you have product planning, designing and development. So which is very important. You have to plan for a product, you have to design a product and thereby you will develop the product. Then location and layout of the plant and the buildings. Where will the plant be located and how will the plant be located? The layout of the buildings. Like for example, in a factory, where will a particular shop floor be located and so on. Next is operation of purchase and storage of materials. This is very, very important, that you purchase the correct raw materials and you have to store them properly. Then planning and control of factory operations, repairs and maintenance. Then inventory control, that means control of stock of raw materials. It can be work in progress, stores, spare parts, and quality control. You have to maintain a particular quality level also. That work is done by production management. And in fact, another important function is research and development. Research and development leads to innovation, leads to your producing better products at lower cost. Next we come to office management. Now what do you mean by office management? Actually office management is actually management of an office in such a way that the goal of the organization can be reached with the minimum cost. It is concerned with planning, coordinating and controlling the activities of an office. Like for example, you have in the office you have different type of forms, you have different type of stationery, you have different methods of filing the records, and then maintaining an index. Then you also do work on business correspondence. Then there is collection, then storage and dissemination of information. So all these things are looked after by office management. So they generally look into the machines and the equipments which are necessary. For example, nowadays in every office you have a computer. So then which the computer records all the official information as well as the correspondence. So all this is done by office management. The next is financial management. Now financial management seeks to ensure the right amount and type of funds or capital to business at the right time and at the right cost also. So financial management is generally concerned with deployment and raising of funds. So they have the main work of financial management is estimating the volume of funds that are required not only for the short term but also for long term. Then selecting the appropriate source of getting the money, funds. Company can like issue shares, issue debentures to get funds, or public deposits they can take. So selecting the appropriate source of getting the funds, then raising the required funds at the correct time also. At the correct time whatever funds are required, that is raised. Then dividend decisions, how much dividend will be paid out of the profits, how much profits will be retained back. Then ensuring proper utilization and allocation of the raised funds so as to maintain safety and liquidity. Liquidity means it can be easily converted into cash. And the credit worthiness and profitability of the business. So they have to see that credit worthiness and profitability of the business also has to be maintained, but at the same time they should also have liquidity of funds so that they can easily get cash whenever they require. So they mainly discuss about investment policies, financing policies, dividend decisions and administration of the earnings. Now we come to the next scope of management, that is marketing management. Now marketing management is very crucial for any organization because in marketing management we generally talk about how to sell our products, how to get a market for our products. So marketing management actually refers to the identification of the consumers and their needs and supplying the goods and services in such a manner that the wants of the consumers are satisfied. So marketing management is mainly concerned with the analysis, planning, implementation of programs designed to bring about the desired products and achieve the targets of the organization. So marketing management generally contains the following functions. First of all, marketing research. So they do marketing research to determine what are the needs and expectations of the customers. Then accordingly they do planning and developing the suitable products. Then they talk about your setting up of appropriate prices. That is very, very important. In the age of cutthroat competition, you have to fix the price of a product or service in such a manner that you don't lose the market to your competitor. Then selecting the right channel of distribution. How will the goods and services be sold to the customers through which channel? Okay, longer the channel, the costlier it will be, and shorter the channel, the less costly it will be. But at the same time, longer channels have some disadvantages, as well as shorter channels have some disadvantages. So you have to select the right channel of distribution. Then promotional activities also, like for example advertising and salesmanship. Marketing management has to look after these also, advertising and salesmanship, so that the product can be sold and you have a consistent market for your product as well as service. So mainly if we see in marketing management, we are concerned with marketing plans, then we are concerned with behavior of consumers, then marketing mix, and then product and price decisions, promotion, like just now we talked about advertising, sales promotion, okay, and the distribution of the products. So these are the activities done by marketing management. Beyond these branches of management, sometimes we also have another type of branch of management, that is purchasing management. Now purchasing management is generally concerned with the activity of purchase of raw materials,